Welcome everyone for another video. Uh, this kind of video would really not be necessary if everyone would make their homework and scrutinize everything and everyone question everything, including everything that will be said in this video. So just check it out for yourself. So before you start commenting widely, just watch at least the video until the end. No need to listen, you can turn off the sound. Just check the facts. You can turn off the sound and listen to the horse mouth, right? So let's go into it. For the ones who don't know, LoveForLife, Arthur, Fiona, Christian is a family in Australia making a garden. You can check out the website. Is actually and still not update, and since 2 years almost they say they want to make it, but they have worked a lot in the garden, showed how they have like from nothing to a huge garden, really good stuff to see and to learn always. Myself, I learned a lot also over all the law stuff and a lot of about the Freemasonic system and everything and so on. So very close to the truth, and still I would people definitely suggest for the people to look into it, and how Horsemouth is saying himself, the ones closest to the truth are the biggest liars and the ones creating the biggest damage of all. So the question is to really look into the facts, and anyway, I participate. I even bought a domain and start to build a website for easy administration, exchange, translation, quick search, members chat. Anyway, like a real website to exchange all this information, because everything get like lost. And um, the idea was, oh, what I thought is it would be a community so we can work together and get the stuff out, but things came differently. So in order to criticize, we need to love them, and in order to love them, we need to know them. So I think I know them very well, and also the people around and what they say. It also, yeah, I mean, you will see over the video what they are really doing and how they acting or reacting over the whole community or whatever it is, you will see. So since February, I discovered the first video of OPPT, but we didn't talk until like April. Many hours of debating, also Skype calls, read miles of their articles, watched hours of the videos, learned big time, and also as from many others, and still learning a lot. So it's a lot of truth, and to pick out, to really scrutinize the things, you really have to shoot very sharp. So it's nothing personal, definitely not. It's not an attack. And no intent to harm them, right? As they did a very great job, but maybe they would also should also realize that the damage they can cause with all this stuff. Each one teach one would usually be the thing. I learn from everyone around. I have interaction with it. So no need to take a side, no need to create a division. It's only for everyone to learn about it, and we will see where after this everything will go. So in 2007, I dissociate myself from the whole LoveForLife work. Mostly the people, because I mean they claim it is a script, and they say that I'm using stuff from them, but if it's not a script, then it's truth, and if it's true, then it's for everyone, and you can't claim any ownership or intellectual property on it. So no hard feelings, recognizing my mistake of participating in all that, and taking distance, right? That was my thing, I think 2007. But maybe first why I even was participating for over 3 years. So I said I was in that I was exposing this OPPT from the whole beginning. It started in the beginning in January, and I straight up start to expose OPPT in a group with different people and so on, and they start to also to talk about it. Only later, like the first videos they did was in February, you can see. But they came to me, or Arthur came to me in April after I made this video between Eastwood show, because it was in Australia. He was watching them, obviously, and said, yeah. Then he get in touch with me. But before I was writing to them, there he didn't show any interest. So it's only after this show, but was showing interest, yeah, in jaba or whatever. They have many videos, and really about not only gardening, law, the whole Freemasonic, the whole satanic agenda, and so on. I definitely would look into the videos and just stay aware that there can be stuff mixed in it. So of course, everybody get overwhelmed by the huge mile-long articles, and you don't even really see through what is going on. You get just caught up in it, and you take everything for granted. It's fascinating, and of course, you get into the magic that things. When there's a lot of truth, you have to pick out the stuff. You always have to stay vigilant. That's is for everyone. So I start to sharpshoot on the little lies between the huge truth, right? Many hours of debating and Skype calls, so was what we can call a private session, right? And then you can give or you provide personal stuff that can be used later on. We will also see it. As I say, still today, they are to Fiona, mostly probably Arthur. We don't really know what Fiona is doing in all that. They're pioneers. They definitely, I didn't still until today, didn't find anyone who provide as much insight about the whole system and the connection, but they also think so. So there's a kind of pride and want to stay like first. So I don't know what. So I was never shy to meet strange or outcast people, and there is and still much to learn for everyone. So Arthur started to say that I'm one of them. Yeah, you are one of us. Jaba come to Australia. We have a 10,000 plus studio equipment, so we can make LoveForLife music. That was already from the beginning. Arthur want me to go there to make the music, even pay the tickets. I told him about the situation, and he said, "I just leave your children with your psycho baby mother and come. The children are already fucked, right?" I don't know if you should, even if that is the case, should let them down anyway. That's can be an opinion. One day we will anyway be together. So it is the whole charming stuff that, of course, many get caught up in. So finally, I get accused still today. I get accused to running lies about the whole of everything what is going on, right? So that is still what they claim today, even all the people. And I was only making claims about the cult. So let's just see the facts. Yeah. Since August 17, 2017, you can see here the date. scroll down the whole page without opening the posts, we could find 470 matches where Java was mentioned without opening the post, without the comments, because somewhere they even block me out, so I don't even see when they are talking about. But this is only on one page, right? And my last post about them, my dissociation, was 2 days later, and I didn't mention them on my Facebook since 2 years, but they have like, yeah, 407 on one page, and there is like 7 pages or more, and yeah, it's like over 4,000 times Java is mentioned since 2 years, and I didn't mention them. I answer to comments, and I answer when people came to me to ask what this whole thing is about. So yeah, everyone can see who is really obsessed with who. So the thing was then that, I mean, who his all obsession, control freak, and other issues, health. I don't really think he look healthy, but that is maybe my judgment. So he said that he have nothing to clear out, right? There's one of the issue about Fiona is that she broke the leg, and I asked what really happened, yeah, because yeah, I know they had an argument, and then Fiona was like with a broken leg for months, and nobody really clear out this question. So maybe you can ask himself or can ask yourself what really happened there. But I mean, angry issue and so on came at least afterwards, definitely. So let's put it under scrutiny, right? So what is the bigger picture? What Arthur is claiming about? Yeah, for assassination attempts can be at least the way he has mentioned them. We can at least question if that's really true. Can avoid magic bullets, have Superman abilities. Diana came into his daydream and said to him, I'm sorry. You have some spiritual guys who come up in bright daylight. He claimed he's the son of God, hear the voice of God, here to rescue and bring peace to all man, awaited for thousands of years on earth. Same time he is on earth already since 4,745 years at least, yeah. And then you have a kind of fascination for the Green Book of Gaddafi, and compare this with what he's doing. So that is, I mean, this is his own claims, right? And you will see that this is not bullshit Jabba is making up. This is coming out of horse mouth, and you can see if yourself if this is not called. Yeah, then I'm completely wrong about any cult, and any cult have just used exactly the same fantasy. So everything started to get strange when they asked me to join a show with Janik, who I already exposed being a completely fool. And no, fool would be a judgment. I take this back. I can say he is completely lost. And people are not honest with him if they just continue to make show with him without telling him what is really going on. So I told him, Janik is a YouTube junkie, just want to make videos, and he wants also to get Jabba, and also Arthur wants just to get Jabba to get maybe some more views. I have no idea. But anyway, in these interviews, is 99% is Arthur talking, and the others are listening there, like just taking everything for granted and don't ask any precise question, because if then he will just shout on you, right?
Become these Frankensteins of that self-obsession, not realizing what we've done. Right?
Okay, but so, if I'm not like me, I'm the reason why I'm on YouTube is because I'm working on a dream. I want to become a world-known motivational speaker, and I say it out loud every fucking day. That's my dream. I'm working on it. I want to become a speaker, and I think Jabba doesn't like this. This is maybe why he thinks I'm lost. But that's my dream, and I have a living dream. I'm holding on to it. I'm working on it every fucking day. I wake up. I'm live and direct on my other channel, and I practice my speaking. This is what I want to do. I want to speak to people. I want to inspire people. I've been ordained to do great, and I'm not going to fucking stop. I'm unstop the fucking ball.
No,
Maybe learn from what's happened here. Sorry,
So,
Scott.
just a question, Janik. Do you when you're in that dream of wanting to become a speaker,
yeah.
are you coming from a script at all, or are you doing it freely? Is it coming?
I started that on my own. That's Motivation Academy. It's my baby. That's my other channel. My channel is not the Truman Show. This is where I do hang out. But my real channel is Motivation Academy, and I invite you to visit it. I have thousands of videos where I practice my skill. I want to become a speaker. I am a speaker now, but all I do on YouTube is not it for me. That's only the beginning. I have a big dream, a big vision, and I'm walking towards it.
Can I say, look, we all can sense, when we're authentic, we can sense each other's intentions. We can sense.
All right, but this is not only about the intention, it's also about the outcome, because like Arthur and Scott are really not honest with him, right? Because I mean, here you can definitely see that this is completely bullshit, and what he is saying, right? This is not a dream. This, like he's saying, this is a vision, right? This is like a huge complex Janik is like struggling with, and with his thousands of videos, and the guys are not honest, right? And so it is about the intention, but it's not about the intention, it's about the outcome, right? It's only about the outcome.
Are you still conscious? Are you conscious of the scripts that will suck you in, especially if you get more of a bigger audience? Because that's what happens. The ego can kick in, and we get lost in the frenzy of our own delusion.
I will never be a sellout. I will never be a sellout. Never. I will always speak my mind the most honest I can do. And that's why you don't see me on YouTube with all those flattered fanatics, because I can sense the fucking bigger picture. Not totally, but I'm sensing it. And I have a responsibility, if I can sense a bigger picture, just like you, just like Scott, just like every one of us, to inspire others. They're fucking blind. Like I was blind 4 years ago. I didn't even know a clue of what I'm talking here today. Hello. So
we
come
really
on.
get that. We really get that.
The
Same
world.
as Scott.
We really get it, yeah. I mean, I get it too. But I mean, what is that bullshit, right? Feeding the YouTube junkie, yeah. I mean, that's pure cult how you motivate people. And so, Channing being current YouTube junkie actually brings new brothers and sisters to the Love and Life inside work we hold on what is wrong about that, right? Yeah, it's just using people and their traumas for bringing your agenda to people. Like that's fucking for virginity, like war for bringing peace. That's bullshit, right? It doesn't work like that. So my relationships with people always get shattered. Dead of relationship with the mother of your children and the suicide down the line too. I mean, I have no issue with everything what happened in my life, but if someone is confusing stuff like that completely and take it out of the line and throw it you like on the head like that, then he is completely lost. Because first of all, it is not the mother of my kids. She didn't suicide, but had an accident and died with her son. There is a video on YouTube. You can talk about it and you can ask me. I have no issue to talk about it. And the baby mother is a pervert narcissistic. So I have issues with. I told him about what the mother is doing to the kids, and I mean. I will tell after. I have a little resume of what happened meanwhile when I never talked about it. But if you bring it up like that, I want to clear it. It is not the mother of my kids. my wife, she didn't suicide, but had an accident. If you throw that on your thing, and then you say like, yeah, this is the facts of what happened, you can check the link if you want. But to call it suicide, right? The only mistake was that the wife was a suicide, but it's a completely mix-up. And finally, just to say that it is the only mistake was that is just some cheap excuses. What is going on here? Well, anyway, we don't have to go through all the facts. You can stop it and read it. But this is not coming from me. I don't invent that. Yeah, of course, my relationships are all troubles. That I always get. Yeah, I mean, this is the excuse why I didn't want to go into relationship with Jonik, and this was unconditional, right? But I mean, to not tell him the truth, this unconditional? I mean, to tell the truth, and I faced him. I told him, and he came to me. I didn't came to him. I let him do his bullshit. What he's doing, you can check it out for yourself. I don't have to judge. You just can see it yourself. So he's just presuming some stuff. So I have many problems with people, and that's just like he was just online the lies and so on. So even Scott came. Oh, I would love to see you all together, talk on YouTube and talk together. So I'm the one who have conditional fake love at work and self-obsession, because I don't want to participate in supporting Janik to continue his mental suicide, right? So I'm like the one. Janik is definitely running and hiding the shade of the light of the sun, so to speak. Yeah, but you don't tell him that, and you don't tell him where he get caught up. You just participate and let it do. That is conditional, right? So Scott is really like just like the little doggy get the ball on it, and he don't think he gets so much hammered from Arthur that he even left, if I'm not wrong. But at least the horse was not there anymore. But if I'm not wrong, he just went to Australia, sold his 2 horses. If I'm not wrong, one he get back. But he car accident in Australia because how to stress him so much out and so on. Well, ask Scott for what really happened, but he liked to hide also many facts and just take it on him like a good slave. So that is what you can observe in the videos. The titles of the videos, you can see them for yourself. Watch them video for yourself. So Arthur is just running as soon as he get confronted. And so he said that he don't want to do anything with me again. But over the 2 years, he just continued to... and then I had to choose if I want to take the bullshit or not, right? It's like slaughterhouse choice, denial, whatever. You can pause it and look it for yourself. So after that, of course, he was trolling, insulting, inventing, spamming, harassing, presuming, lying, aggression. He laid down the whole palette of everything what I was telling him. Yeah, what is going on? Only because he thought that I was like in the confusion. That was a good excuse. So and finally, they gave me a temporary peace, right? Another Messiah complex. Well, 2018, when I brought out the album, Arthur came back like nothing after all this stuff, just acting, good stuff, jaba, good music, and blah blah blah, right? Sending tons of bullshit I never asked for. he blocked me, and then he unblocked me when he saw the videos of the music. And then he came, and I just count like only the words that he was sending. It was like 3,270 words, right? This is how much, and I didn't ask anything. I didn't answer anything, but he just came and threw this all the bullshit again at me. Anyway, we also have like Hannah. Hannah is the one who probably will, with Fiona do the whole garden, kids, dogs, work beside to get the money, so that Arthur can continue to claim be out of the system. So here also, this was all that what happened in private message. You just compose it and read it if you want it all, nothing to hide. But if you see also like about what happened with Fiona, and where she was like, she was not there, she didn't know what happened, or she didn't want to say it. And finally, here you have it all. So also that she is like always get back to the big picture. You don't know it, blah blah blah. She's like always using just the same excuses as always, and anyway, that's 100% cult, and she loved to be the slave. Yeah, I mean they have a bed for her now, and kids are still living somewhere. Just that is not even my thing. So we have Mustafa. Yeah, Mustafa is also like the new slave. He is still like putting words a little bit in comprehensive style. That was yeah, that was last year almost, and then you will see how weird he gets more and more. Of course, Arthur is like pushing him, some reply and so on, like in all his pages and so on, and you will just see like the bullshit that he is bringing out, right? But he is definitely just now the slave. The new slave of Arthur, or finally the soldier, because he was like coming after me, and still until today he is just making like foolish claims. That is the way he speaks. Yeah, it's like not even very much later than that, and it gets always more confused and confused. So now he has even spread the LoveForLife script on his own, right? And that's funny. And the Arthur don't even mention anything. Beside my 6 Facebook accounts, I have several YouTube accounts too. So he seems like a very busy guy. And here you can see also we also have tolerance problem. We are all psycho. He's just repeating like we are all in the satanic cult. Have yeah. Anyway, that is like his excuses to make all his bullshit. Just don't sell out, yeah. And this is how Arthur is like keeping him completely. Or you can name it how whatever you want. I don't know. Yeah, he is warning him, but then tell him you are not as confused as you think. So he just like continue the whole bullshit all the time, right? So it's like if you go on the pages, you will see that he is like just more providing more and more bullshit. Comment everything with his strange, yeah, script. He have his own script now, and of course Jabba is a cult leader too. Jabba is a cult leader too. Funny. Okay, Jabba has spent the year backstabbing Arthur and LoveForLife, where he has been very heavily influenced by LoveForLife, as still be seen in his song lyrics, right? but there is no copyright on truth, Arthur. If you give something to the truth, then it is everyone can use it. So just to say that they claim all the time that they start to wake up in 2005, right? And they don't endorse the way Jaba is using Love4Life inside. But Jaba wake up almost 20 years before them that there was an issue, right? Yeah, Jaba wrote songs written in 2003. Dreams are like trees. Don't cut that tree. Oh no, right? 2000, yeah, 93. Yeah, that was a little bit 10 years before Jaba came already out with a lot of songs.
Drives me to make this video today, from sharing some of this background, is that there was a series of events that happened for this man, unique and original to this man, not for anyone else to be under this man because of it. But I'm going to share them with you because what Fiona and this man are doing with this garden, and why this garden exists, and why the Love4Life work has been in this rental property all this time, needs to be shared, and from a bigger picture, because we've got to see the bigger picture. Because if we don't get the bigger picture, we cannot access the magnificence.
Okay. So he's always talking about the bigger picture. So let's put the stuff in place. What is all about this bigger picture? Because in the same video, you can see it here. You can find it on the internet. He's talking about everything what I'm going to share, right? And you're just going to listen right what he is really telling about this bigger picture, because he is saying it's really important that he is sharing it. And if he is sharing it, it is original, but as soon as you share it, it becomes a fairy tale. Well, this is what he's doing, but he put very much weight on it, and he's very he repeat that story to everyone who come into in this Love4Life, and when he work with them, he love to tell the story. So let's check out the story.
Lock in with other definitions and forms the alphabet tongue that is the dictionary, the thesaurus, and it becomes the storytelling of your life in the system. You're completely gone, because even the name you were given is not who you are, and all the identification that comes with it, and all that's all fake, because it's all fantasy. And while we're lost in fantasy, we are unconscious of the bigger picture. And if we can't hold that bigger picture, just as God can hold the big picture in present sense, always present with the presence of life. It's what we're supposed to be, present with the presence of life, always. But one night, in this remote location on my own, living in this house, I got woken up by this presence, this androgynous being in the bedroom, looking over me with a golden yellow and a white light that I can't paint. The gold and the yellow and the white was so perfect. And the eyes were all the colors of life in wholeness. Everything was wholeness. It didn't ask anything from me, didn't tell me how to do anything. There was no voices, no alphabet voices heard. It was just this presence. And it was androgynous. It wasn't male or female. And the feeling that I was experiencing is something like what people experience in near-death experiences, this incredible true piece of love and peace. And it was like the heart of God revealed to me in that moment.
Yeah, only the heart of God revealed, right? Quite magical, that. So the how do you say, androgyne being, right? Non-binary. So what is all that about, right? If you look the symbol and all that, what this is all about. This is what this is what it is, right? So if you really talk about and appear that in his dreams, well, I think it's we should question at least, yeah.
So on these 2-hour walks, that thought came back in my head during the day. And I said to myself, well, what was it? Well, I'm walking fast with my older border collie dog, Sammy, who's no longer with us. Well, he's still here, but he's not in the body. And the moment I thought this, a voice spoke to me for everything that exists. And it hit me, it was like 4 MMA fighters punching me in my gut around my belly button with their ferocity, but there was no pain. My whole body just completely physically buckled over. I was physically buckled over by this voice. It said to me it was the face of God. And my whole body just burst into a state of elation. I'm, not dreamt for. I didn't premeditate this. And elation just poured out of my eyes of joy. My whole skin was just with tears pouring out all over my body. There was this white and yellow light again that I saw in gold all around and really big. And in that voice, everything was it.
Well, okay.
By this voice. It said to me it was the face of God. By this voice. It said to me it was the face of God. By this voice. It said to me it was the face of God. By this voice.
The other thing that is very important to point out is this. If you have voices in your head, do you not have a soul? Right? He is always talking about these voices that he is hearing. Not judging again, pointing out.
Same walk along this 1 kilometre stretch of Old South Road, somewhere along there, 20 minutes or so into the walk, bang, a man shifted his whole body in front of me while I'm walking. And he was what would you call an Aboriginal man. And I'm sitting there stunned as I'm walking. It's all happening. And he says to me, I've been waiting for you for thousands of years. And I'm sitting there going, what? And there's this white light, gold and yellow all over. That feeling of peace and love and timelessness, the tears, the elation, the joy, and the rhythms and the melodies around this man. And I knew he was a man on the land. He was like us, alive.
But truth is present in presence of life. Huh?
Or something like that. Could have been April, early April, 2006. Similar walk. Bang! An American Indian appears before me. He's 6'3", 4", whatever. The best looking man I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not talking Cary Grant Hollywood stuff. I'm talking about a beautiful man with his feathers and everything. And he says to me, while I'm walking, I've been waiting for you for thousands of years. And he told me his name was Running Water. And going back to the previous experience, the other man told me his name, which was Guga Dunga something. And it just went a long, long name. I just call him Guga Dunga because it's the only thing I can sort of grasp. It was too big for me. But this man revealed himself as Running Water and said that he was my spirit man, meaning what people would call a spirit guide or someone who works with us like an ancestor.
All right. And the thing is, if you hear voices in your head, you don't have a soul, right?
Last of these experiences. During May, I'm doing these 2-hour walks during the day, 20 minutes or so into the walk along Olsaf Road. Bang, both Running Water and Gulgadung appear together. And I'm looking and I'm swearing off my head. I'm going, fuck, this is impossible. How the fuck can this be happening? He's a man on the land. He's a spirit man. There's no separation between. And I'm looking at them both while I'm walking and going, bullshit, and I'm absolutely losing it in my head. Going, this is just, spinning me out. And I'm swearing, I really am. I'm cursing. I'm going, this is just fuck, And then they turned to look at me together. They said, we've been waiting for you for thousands of years. And I'm not making it mean anything to me. I'm just saying, okay, fine. But within days of that, or some period of time around that, I was at my mother's backyard crying, talking to whatever was God or whatever it was. I even hated God. I hated religion, but I was just talking to something. So I just want to live for the truth. I just want to live for the truth. And I really meant it. I want this life to be to live for the truth and go with the truth. That was the intention. It might not have been the words, but that was the intention. And I think that ever since then, my life has been shaped by this dream that I've held. And I think I've reconnected that with another dream from another life.
No matter the intention, all that counts is the outcome. Your own words, brother. Up to you to realize the bullshit that you're getting out here.
There were attempts on this man's life. Twice, there were 3 assassination attempts on this man's life. The first time was in a car, and I knew to avoid where I needed to go because there was a trap for me. I just didn't even go there. Right? I can't prove it. The picture, when I sensed this picture of this intent, then I saw the car coming over the hill, the car with these 4 men in it. And I had like not even 2 seconds or something like that. And you know what I did? I moved my car directly in front of them to have a head on with them. But the moment I moved the car directly in front of them, they moved their car to the other side. Their car went off the road and rolled and smashed up. It's really smashed up. When I'm watching in the mirror, I can see this car smashing up. And I moved on.
Okay.
Something like half an hour later, I came back down that road. There was no car crash. It was all cleaned up. Everything was removed, but you can see all the damage to the side of the road on these embankments where it happened. But everything was removed. So there was a big psyop organized there. No different to the JFK assassination in Dallas. It was organized.
Okay.
The third time the assassination happened to this man, I was walking, doing these 2-hour walks. And in the back areas of East Barrel, I saw a picture, again in my brain, this picture that you sense, of 2 men in a black car with the intention to kill me. And then, I can't remember if it's moments or not, or seconds, whatever, this black car appears down the road and turns. And I knew, okay, I jumped a fence, ran across this $1 million property, and then started to climb up this, through what was a fence with hedges on it. And as I got to the top, I turned around, I heard a gunshot. Right? And I turned around, and when I turned around, I saw the bullet. Now, you know what happened? There was no time. Everything stopped. And now it was like in the scene out of the Matrix, the bullet coming directly towards this man's head. And this man was like this. If you look at, turn around looking at the bullet coming at this man did this. Did that. Now, it was not prescripted.
But where is the truth in all that, right? It is pure nonsense. Nobody can verify it. Why you mention always this nonsense?
Another thing that happened in 2012, this man went to sleep for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I don't know where I was. I don't even know what I did. But this man slept for 2 weeks. And Fiona's telling me that Hannah and others had come to look after the body, pick up the body, take it to the toilet, change the body, clean the body, do whatever this body was doing in the bed. But when I came back, I was a baby. I felt like a baby. The innocence was so profound and the senses were so heightened. Back then, I had no definition to help me make sense of it. But I was in that dream, you could say, of that bubble where the senses of the dream of life were so heightened that when I had to relearn to get my balance to walk. I couldn't walk. I had to relearn my balance. And it took me weeks of stumbling. I couldn't walk. I had to, like a child, had to learn to crawl and walk. I literally almost had to go through that again. But my senses were so heightened that when I was going down the ponds, just the back behind here, I was able to watch signs from more than a kilometre away, far more, and zoom in on small print and read it. I was able to watch people walking in the distance, right? And zoom in from far than a kilometre away and listen to their conversation. But more than that, I was able to look at anyone's body like X-ray vision, look inside their bodies.
And people just take it.
On a Sunday morning, and the next door neighbour came running over, who I didn't hardly know. I don't even recall how we even talked to them. And this woman comes running over saying, have you heard about Diana? And I'm going, and this is early in the morning, we're tired, and I'm trying to pull luggage out of the boot of the car. Just, who? What Diana? What's it? It's just Diana Spencer. She died in a crash. And I'm going, oh, vomit, because I'm thinking about, where my head was back then. I hated anything to do with royalty and anything related connection, all that stuff. I thought the whole thing was just vomit. And I'm thinking vomit, while this woman's telling me. I said, big deal. Okay, she's dead. Anyway, she goes, and I go inside the log cabin. I'm bringing luggage in. I'm dropping it on the wooden floor in the entrance to this cabin. And I felt this presence come through into this body of this man. And it was the woman, Diana Spencer. It's like it was walking. And I could smell her, I could sense her, and I could hear her. And she's saying to me, I'm so sorry for letting you down. And I'm going, what? I'm so sorry for letting you down. And she's crying. And I said to Fiona, because she was coming in bringing stuff from the car, I said, look, Diana Spencer's here. She's talking to me.
All right. The funny part is that the neighbor had to tell him that he had the vision about Diana, right? So he don't even had the vision without knowing about the accident, right? But yeah, anyway, it is pure nonsense. We can't verify it.
And from a bigger picture, because we've got to see the bigger picture. Because we don't get the bigger picture, we cannot access the magnificence. And from a bigger picture, because we've got to see the bigger picture. Because we don't get the bigger picture, we cannot access the magnificence.
I think you get it.
From a bigger.
The stories that you're expressing and sharing is to be careful that you don't get caught in I guess you could call it jealousy, or like the want to be able to have those powers, because it would help you fill that void. It's like, well, if I had that, I could do this, and I'd feel this about myself, and all of a sudden I'm just saying this because when I heard those stories from you back in the day, that's what was going through my head. I wasn't fully aware that it was going through my head, but yeah, I started building this jealousy over you and what you've been through and your experiences and all these incredible experiences that you've had where you've fully felt what it was like to be in the moment, purely in the moment.
Yeah. Also, they just take it, right? They don't even think about it if that could be true, because Arthur is like not lying. So they love the fantasy and go in the imagination. But it is pure nonsense. We can't verify it, yeah? So why he is mentioning it all the time?
That came out of hundreds of letters we received. From the floor up, you could stack up and a couple of feet high letters we got from people who sharing stories about their sexual abuse and pedophilia and all this sort of stuff. We never went looking for any of this stuff.
That is also like he loves to mention numbers and all this stuff, like a couple of foot, like 3 foot. That's 10,000 letters. Yeah, I mean, why he's always like putting when he talk about numbers, he put always like 2 or 3 zeros behind it all the time. Also, like claiming a lot of stuff himself. Yeah, like here again. assassination attempts. He loved that story. That's narcissistic too, yeah. And then he can still claim that Fiona love it. But if they are writing together, why they do love their own stuff so much? You can see that over a couple of posts. Yeah, that's another thing that sometimes you get some stuff out of comments. So he had like in the nature he see like yeah, like some sexual women's and legs. Yeah, if that is not kind of strange too. So Arthur is since 2006 he is really out of the system, right? So they had a lot of like 500,000 of fines and I don't know what, but he's still out of the system. He cared very much about his clicks. Yeah, there was a group of 100 men and women across Earth who were testing click counters on YouTube in various locations just to make sure if they have really the amount of clicks and so on. This kind of bullshit. That is what he's saying. But here I don't even have like 5 people who comment on his thing. So he have hundreds of people. Yeah, sure. And of course, ex-military industrial complex software engineer. Yeah. LoveForLife website was placed at I don't know what and so on. Of course, it's not working anymore, and it's like coming up in the next month, and this is going on like for the last 2, 3, yeah, for the 2 years. I don't know. Also Libya, about the whole bullshit about Libya, like what he's talking about. I'm coming back on this a little later. If you want to have a farm and equipment, is all for free. Yeah, it's complete bullshit. Yeah, non-verified internet fantasy story. I have a musician who play with me who lived in Tripoli. Yeah, he is from there. And of course, if you're not from there, I can understand. I was in the fantasy too of all that. So yeah, again, we have many death threats via phone and email. Fiona was kidnapped by police and blah blah blah, and all that stuff. Other claims is like Arthur Adam was like posting some picture, and straight up Arthur say we have a large collection of this photo accumulated, but Facebook blocked it, right? So I told him that is complete bullshit because even himself he's posting them and they don't do disappear. So that's just a kind of another example how he is like always. One time he even forget like to post it publicly, so it was like hidden only for friends. People could not see it and they don't share it and blah blah. And he say Facebook blocked everything, but he just forget to click it to make it public. So it was only probably for him, and yeah. Anyway, you can stop it, and then the whole document about jaba, jaba, yeah, is quite an obsession. So then he also claimed like he never took this post down when the stuff was not there. He don't copy. He only copy what is arranging him. Yeah, even from the comments and so on. So as soon as he's get more to the facts, he just don't copy them and just pick out what he want that people are gonna see. Well, everyone have to verify it himself. So he have somehow some multiple mobile phone contracts on his name, but he is out of the system. So they had to go from their rental property, yeah, and complain about it. They say PayPal take it down for that and that reason. You can support them. It's like donation all over the place. Even telling people website will not go on if people don't support. Anyway, you can yeah, and then it's that thing about Fiona work situation has changed, and as she still is on Centrelink parenting payment, she is still obliged to find a minimum 15 hours of labor pay work per week. So this parent payment, right, per child. I have no clue if the numbers are correct, but they are on government payroll. Yeah, they get money from the thing. That is maybe also the reason why they don't want to move away. But of course, you have all these accounts and so on all over the posts, copy paste all over. So also like Arthur, like what he's doing, they want to throw our family out of the streets around it in January, with termination, not eviction notice hanging over Christian family. Yeah, then he's talking about the family. That was in January. And Fiona, then it's like Fiona, Christian, whose family is being threatened to put out in the street. And you can see this post all over the place. He was complaining about his slave treatment, and oh, how bad they would be thrown out of a rental property. I mean, you can see it out for yourself. But yeah, if it's to get some crocodile tears, let's make some crocodile tears for Java, right? I mean, since 2011 and today, I just give up everything. Yeah, from international superstar or 2 million YouTube views, gaining 10,000 grants per month, to exposing the system for free. You can cry for me if you want. Stop the music business after 20 years. Yeah, this is all what I stopped. So recognizing the effect of us participating, I definitely recognize to stay on stage in front of 60,000 people can only feed the illusion. And I didn't stop the music because of lack of success. Yeah, if anyone think that is the case, and I want to make myself known on internet with this stuff, then forget it. Yeah. And I don't mind about the clicks, definitely not. Yeah, I lost my wife and her boy in an accident in 2014. I lost my house in 2015 after living 23 years there with garden, community, creating music, dome, and so on. I moved 5 times since 2015. Slept in a car in the middle of the winter with 2 kids. Yeah. Fraudulent accused of kidnapping and raided by 8 policemen 6 in the morning with a gun in the head. Living actually in a 3-piece room with 2 kids, 1 dog, 1 cat, no job, no regular income, over 7 legal battles, 1 only to protect the children from get destroyed from the baby mother. Yeah, my daughter even had suicidal ideas because the mother is like throwing her out in the street. Yeah, when I didn't had even a proper thing. So if anyone want to put some crocodiles for me, I don't want them. And I ask everyone where Jaba ever talk about this stuff, and yeah, it's right. I have 1 video where I'm showing where I had to took down my whole garden and stuff, and that is even the only video the people ever saw about my garden. So it is more to show what we have built and need to destroy, right? But beside that, Jabba never talk about his personal issue or cry out about his slave treatments ever. Yeah, we are all in the same shit, so don't start with crocodile tears. So of course he is commenting everything, how the slave treatment in a commercial rental property, right? We still have nowhere to live. We are still crashing in the garage. Now it's we, you see? We still have nowhere to go. Before it was Fiona and the family, and now suddenly it's included because you have to sleep on the fucking floor. No toilets and so on. Anyway, so now it's we, yeah. And of course, gypsy vagabonds for them, right? But this where's the self-responsibility, right? They both yeah, they're living like in a camper. They get $21,000, right, for to buy a camper, yeah, to buy thanks to gifts received, we purchased, yeah. Okay, I think they didn't receive it as a gift. Some lady there, I think it is a free borrow or something like that. Anyway. People don't really care about what is going on. Yeah, they're just happy they found something. So, yeah, this is another one, and I think this is the letter he have sent to the property to the ones who rent out the property, right? So now this living man comes to her here. Rescue us, a man of peace, and to rescue all of man, woman, children across earth being harmed by this undisclosed fantasy permitting. That's hard to say that. This means that this man is completely invisible amongst you alphabet words. Definition: he is Son of God. Under the protection of this man of peace, the Son of God, this man, living soul, yeah. My Father does not grant you the power to live anymore. That sentence God has spoken. Again, this man is already the higher power of this undefined land. Yeah, only that. 4,745 years, at least. Yeah, at least. I mean, yeah. Okay. So the thing is, they're living in a rental property, like in the middle of residential, yeah, area, really close, like to other houses. You can look around. Yeah, this is what on at least on Google Map probably is old because they have everything. Everything here is full after, right? So this is in the middle of the system, right? And now this you can see when they take it down, everything what was there, right? I mean, this is a residential area, right? You can't complain for not being respected. I mean, this is not farmland, right? It's a residential area, yeah, and having like toxic stuff in the soil, some arsenic, latex, and all the other bullshit. I mean, you know, common sense, right? I mean, let them live if they want to really live like rabbits, but then don't go in the rabbit thing and tell you want to create a kingdom or kingdom. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so now they want to raise $8 million to get the thing, and now the interesting part is here is Fiona. Yeah, this is Fiona who put that. Yeah. The Fiona Facebook wall is not for Fiona and Arthur to perform social media. It's just here to be used for crowdfunding, donations, other commercial. And Arthur does not perform commercial. Is not in the system. The wall he managed cannot be used for commercial purpose. Yeah. So raising millions. Sorry, I could. Yeah. The commercial purpose. But the thing is that Arthur is sharing from Fiona's Christian wall on his page to share it anyway. I mean, yeah. So if you look, I mean, land is not that expensive as 8 millions. Yeah. Of course, I'm not saying that this is the perfect thing for them, this kind of land, but just to show you the prices, and I mean, yeah, 7 hectares. Yeah, that is rural land for sale. Yeah, I have no idea where this really is or if that could fit. So then on April 23rd, they say that they're going to freeze all activities on the Facebook wall using but leaving our post. Goodbye, Facebook, Arthur Christian, Love for Life. Yeah. So this was April 23rd, and then you just can watch for yourself. Yeah, but it didn't stop there. Arthur just stopped posting on his own wall. Probably because people would just notice that he just like talk about shit anyway. But I mean, this is just one of the pages. They have like 7 pages. One is Love for Life, one Love for Life Kindoms. You can see it for yourself, and it's quite funny what you will see. Yeah, but everything goes on until today. Anyway. But one of the posts was very interesting, yeah, that the Libyan were gradually heading back to kingdom, but the Freemason occultists put a stop on it. Read the Green Book by Gaddafi, more below, yeah, claiming that because of Gaddafi gold standard, this is close to kingdom. I mean, if you look just a little bit, I mean, he tortured people, he killed, he take planes down, and he didn't deny it. Yeah? He was even proud of it. Execute, I don't know how much people, even only on this video you can see like 10 or maybe 15 people hanging. Yeah. So this is one of the last posts. Yeah, this is not long ago. And I remember the post, and I already confronted you, saw it before in the video. This is bullshit, right? So I confront him. This is completely internet fantasized bullshit. And of course, his excuse is total fucking idiot, me. All the infos came from first party who were there, lived there. It's all in the old Drupal, of course, not available, but down will be back up. Yeah, when we afford it, people gonna pay for it, then he will be back. We have blocked this idiot all across Facebook. So the first party witness is blocked because he's an idiot, but the info is still a fact, right? That this is the only witness he have about this thing, and then he started to claim like Gaddafi is good, read the Green Book, but maybe this is also a clue what maybe he is really where he really goes. Maybe it's part of the big picture. So we have again, this is all publicly. Adrian, he went there to help out. Yeah, he was very happy that Adrian helped out to clean up all the mess, or the whole garden. But finally, he was just blocked, right? He Adrian didn't say really a lot. Then some stuff, but it was obvious that there was something really going on, and of course, yeah, that is how we say it. It's very interesting to see how many go there and back remain quiet. After all, it's only dark words that are on bluff on occultist power, fear, exposing the real perpetrators, give them even more to feed up. Yeah. So hearing a lot of third-party feedback about Adrian, and he was, as we blocked him last week, we just want, he was there. I mean, he was lived there in the garage and so on. Yeah, he went through all the struggle, but maybe he just to ask some question. A lot of stress, Hannah, a lot of stress and emotional stuff has been appeared. Okay. Here about the code. Yeah, the video about the cult. So I made this video about the cult structure and danger, and Arthur came, yeah, emulating what has been defined is what creates cult. Yeah. So suddenly he was like coming after jaba definitely, and was just like claiming that that I was lying about them and so on, but there was not one single thing in there. And even Mustafa asked what was really going on because he didn't get, because I wasn't talking about them, and Arthur just came after me. And he even asked him if he was watching the stuff. Yeah, he shared that like on all his pages. Yeah, and yeah, Mustafa say he don't even that I'm not even mention it, but Arthur obviously he doesn't answer. Sorry for that strange slide. No problem. So that is what Arthur was posting everywhere except his own page, and people the cult all start to, of course, getting after Jabba. So I have been running lies, a part of a cult that's created other simulating too. I was the one claims that we are cult is clearly based on a planet agenda. Yeah. So when I was not even mentioned them like for over 2 years, this is the first time I will mention them clearly and point out all that stuff. Yeah. Where meanwhile they have like not stopped, like almost there was not 1 month without hitting on Java. Yeah. I mean this is very obsessed. Anyway. We have a huge long history of using our association with anyone who intends to cause harm to others. Yeah. So what they are doing themselves. So I mean, he's lying again. He is saying that Jabba came into our lives about 2010, but OPPT started in December 2012. He have really bad memory, right? Or at least that the now it's like completely fucked. I don't know what is going on. Or that's 6 years when Jabba never thought about LoveForLife was a cult. I pointed out a lot of things, and anyway, maybe he cannot count simple things. The question is also about what really community is all about. Check it out for yourself. Maybe it's not really like what brings us out of really the system. So check it out for yourself. I mean, the bigger picture, what he is talking about, is maybe not really what you really think. Anyone have to question himself now and where he really want to go with all this, right? But at least Jabba is not lying. I'm just pointing out exactly like the fantasy stories he's putting up and use them all the time again. This coming out of the horse mouth. So if you think it's not a cult, check it out for yourself. So maybe to help more comprehend how occult readers work, here you have the video. It's all in the outcome and you have seen it. It's nothing personal, not an attack, not intent to do harm. I really wish them that, I wish anyone that they can see now the bullshit. At least everything is on the table. No one can say that I'm just putting that out to do harm. Confronting is no conflict. Conflict is in making the confusion by getting confronted. Yeah. So each one teach one. And thanks everyone for watching. And I really wish Arthur, Fiona, all the ones, just all the best, and that they maybe can recognize that bullshit, laugh about, and get over it, and recognize where the bullshit is really coming from. But maybe they should really be honest about in what they get caught up and what kind of stuff they are betraying. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.